My name is Burak. So I'm a PhD student in Information Technologies department, and I'm working with Pierre Majoric and Jacques Robert from HEC Montreal again. So my research interests include the part in which the human makes decisions, like when people and computers, specifically maybe we can say AI, when people and AI collaborate together in accomplishing a task, what makes the outcome better? How can we help people to make better decisions? How can we design better AI or IT interfaces to help people understand what is going on and make informed decisions that is also free from decision biases? So this is my overall research interest. I obviously have some other research interests as well, and these also link to this project, in my opinion. For example, I'm interested in what makes people use an IT, what makes them start using it. So this is a very long traditional research stream. It started back when computers were new in the workplaces and people were having difficulties using IT instead of using paper in their daily work. And this research stream has a lot of impact, but today when you look at it, it's maybe not that relevant anymore because people are already born into IT. So we need to add some type of other variables into the equation so that this question still holds. So finding these variables in which making people use IT is still a problem is also one of my research interests. So when I said making people use IT, I kind of feel like that question, as I said, becomes irrelevant as people start using IT in their daily life and they can't think a day without using internet, without using a computer or their cell phones. So asking the question, how can we make people use the new IT that we deployed in the workplace might be maybe irrelevant question in many cases, but one of the topics where it matters is AI, in my opinion, because unlike computers, this is still something new to people in workplaces, and there are a lot of questions, hesitations about AI being maybe unreliable in some cases because of unexplainability. And I think this might be an issue that will make people look at an IT artifact in a different way. So my answer is first, making people trust AI and trust that it can handle some of the tasks in their daily life. This is a difficult question because in one of my research projects, we found out that people's trust in IT, in AI suggestions, develop slowly as they see correct responses from the AI. And when they see the AI is not behaving as intended, like when they see an erroneous prediction from AI, they stop trusting that instantly. So just one small occasion of an error from the AI part makes the human just make himself distant from the AI and try to solve all problems by himself because he saw that AI once did something wrong and he detected it. So after that, the problem of making that person go back to AI and use that and benefit from using it so that he can spend his daily life, his work life in more important things instead of the things that an AI could do is still a problem. So yeah, making people use AI through the trust lens is one topic that is relevant in my opinion. So when you look at what companies tell that they are doing about AI, or when you look at the business world turning around AI, I feel like many people are talking about it, but responsible AI as well. This is something that they talk a lot. There are many guidelines, many set of rules that companies tell that they need to be following. Like Google has its own set of rules about responsible AI. Microsoft has its own page of a list of rules or principles that they are telling that they need to follow it. And many people do, many companies do that. But I feel like there's still a missing link between those guidances about this topic and the practice. So I think the most relevant question about responsible AI is the missing link between practice and the guidances, and research about what we can do to make it closer to practice, make these principles work in real life. This could be one of the most important topics right now. Because I feel like when you look at the literature, also go back to the literature about use of IT or the trust literature, you can see some of the ideas from those literatures, and you can merge them into maybe one literature review about responsible AI, and you can come up with your guidance. But then what you should do, how you should design that AI so that it works as intended, and it is also understood by people who are using it. So the research question should be focusing on the practice and guidance link. I can say cycling. This is one of the things. Obviously, these times I'm only indoors, so that's okay. But indoors is safer than outside. So you see, this is from the last summer, and it's still healing. So sometimes things happen when you're outside and going on the bike, but still, I like cycling. And the other thing is maybe, I don't know why these questions are asked, but repairing stuff, especially computers, cell phones, tablets, repairing those stuff is an interesting hobby of mine. Sometimes I just go on eBay and bid on some like cracked computers or like damaged ones and purchase them, and it becomes a project of making it alive again, like purchasing small components from China or somewhere else and waiting for them and then making it a whole again. This is also another hobby of mine.